I was 21 years old. I bought my first house, right?
At 21?
I actually tried initially at 20. What happened was I actually messed up my credit. Most people don't know about it because they don't teach financial literacy in school. Most people look at it, they see the outcome like, oh yeah, he's doing it, so he's killing it. But yo, it takes work. I'll be up sometime 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, still working on the business, taking things, adjusting things, you know what I'm saying, just so it can run smoothly. If you can turn $1 into $2, then you can turn $1,000 into $2,000. So I look at it, mentorship is like a GPS. Why try to figure it out on your own? It's gonna take you 5 to 10 years.
Welcome to the Millionaire Essentials podcast, where we give you all the essentials to become a millionaire. Listen, we got a very, very special guest today. I'm your host, Brandon the Provider, and you know I got my partner in crime, my co-host.
Yes, sir. You know it's Tevin Facey, the Fun and Poppy. What's going on with you?
Listen, the weather's crazy, and this guy came all the way out here. We appreciate you for coming. What's going on? We got Jaron in the building.
What's going on, man? Thank y'all for having me here.
Of course, of course.
Definitely worth the trip.
Hey, man. We gonna get to it. We gonna talk about the things that's necessary. We've been seeing you, man. You've been on the rise.
For sure.
You've been on the rise. So, Brandon's if you're gonna ask you a couple questions, we're gonna go back and forth, and we're gonna make this a nice, fun conversation.
Perfect.
This is a goodie. I'm gonna tell you why this is a goodie, right?
Sir.
This is a goodie because he's in our ballpark. He's in our field.
Yes.
He does what we do as well. This is one of the good guys that does credit, one of the good guys that's in that funding. And we always talk about funding. We always talk about credit. So let's break down. How did you start getting into credit? How did you start getting into funding? Give us a little bit about your background.
All right, so I started getting into the credit. I mean, I really started really big into it around, like I said, when COVID hit. But let's take it back to say when I was 21 years old, right? I was 21 years old. I bought my first house, right? And honestly, like I said, that right there was kind of like a game changer right there because, I had the mindset. Well, I actually, just take it back.
At 21, think about that.
Yeah, take it back real quick. First of all, I actually tried initially at 20, right?
Oh, okay.
And I was denied the first time around. Not due to my credit. My credit score was good. It was a 738. But it was due to the fact of I didn't have no
Credit history?
That's what it is. I don't know why I can't even think of it. I didn't have no credit history.
Thank you for wifey in the back for the assist.
There you go. Yeah, so I ain't had no credit history. So it's, most people, they think that, 700 credit score, 750 credit score, you can get whatever you want, but it's really about the credit profile. Right?
Exactly.
So,
yes.
Being denied the first time around, my lender was telling me exactly what I needed to do. And he was like, yeah, go out here, just apply for some credit cards. So, get a personal loan. So that's exactly what I did. So I did that. Got my first house. Didn't even have no facial hair, nothing like that. I had a little mustache or whatever. So
you had the chin strap like me?
I didn't even have that.
Oh, damn.
I wish.
Brandon always cutting on me on the chin strap, man. Look, it's all right, guys.
Little strands right here.
You had a little chin strap.
Like, matter of fact, everybody, like my neighbors, like they was thinking that like my parents was never home. I was like, no, this is my house. You know what I'm saying? So just buying a house so early, you know what I'm saying, and knowing exactly what was required from there. And during that time, Obama had the first time home buyer's credit, so they kind of like assisted, with getting they put down like half the down payment on there.
Yeah.
So, and then from there is just having that mindset. But then what happened was I actually messed up my credit. Right? Not purposely, not intentionally, but I didn't really know how credit actually worked, right?
Right.
Started falling behind on some of my bills. And then basically my car ended up getting totaled, not by me, but some one of my crazy exes ended up like breaking into my house and destroyed my stuff. So when I went down to go to the dealership to get a new car, the dealerships were telling me no. They denied me because my credit score is messed up. So eventually a place went ahead. They went ahead and they approved me. And it was like a 29% interest rate. So I said, you know what? After doing that and finally getting approved, I said I never want to be in a situation again. So at that point, I started rebuilding my credit, fixing my credit. And then, like I said, fast forward to the day, it's just like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just try to help other people not make the same mistake that I made. And most people don't know about it because they don't teach financial literacy in school.
Right.
And just going from that to helping other people doing it, and then going from the personal credit to just understanding about building up the business credit, and then from the business credit, getting the funding so they can go ahead and start their businesses today as opposed to trying to wait 10, 15 years to save up some money. Because it can take you 10 years to save up, $100,000 if you ever get to that point.
Yeah.
You can get $100K in a day if you know how to structure your business properly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm also teaching them too. So once they actually get their credit fixed, I'm teaching them what they can actually do with the credit, how to, leverage their credit.
Right.
Most people, like I say, they fix their credit. There's people I know that got an 800 credit score, but they don't have no idea. They're not even using it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can actually use your credit to, like I said, invest in the passive income opportunities, start a business. It can be a digital products business, make some ebooks, make some courses and stuff. a lot of people, like this nice space that we're in, this can be done with credit. I'm sure y'all did it with credit, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I know years back, I used to think when I seen like tall, like skyscrapers and stuff, I'm thinking, damn, how do you come up with $1 million, a couple $1 million to even build something like this?
Right.
Realize that's really, like I said, the power of credit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nowadays, like I said, just pretty much guiding them on that path, making sure they don't mess up the credit again. Because, like I said, fixing the credit is one thing, but
maintaining it is another. I tell you, maintaining is another thing.
Yeah. People don't want to use. Some people scared to use their credit. They like, I don't want to run up that debt, but they say you want to build it up. You gotta get that history
Leverage.
first.
So I checked your social media out, right? I checked your Instagram. You going hard. You going hard with the marketing. So what I want to ask you, right? Talking about credit, you talk about funding. How did you turn this into a business now? Because there's a lot of people out there, they're getting their credit right, they're getting their funding right, but they say, how you guys making money off of fixing credit, off of business funding? How did you transform once you got your house, you got your mindset right, you went through the fire? How'd you now turn into a business? Because before this, you said you was spending about $30,000 or so in marketing and this and this and that. Mm-hmm. How'd you get the business mindset?
So I guess I could say it started off with, like I said, just seeing my dad in his place, right? He was a carpet installer, and seeing him, like back then, him telling me that he made $100,000 a year, to me, that was a lot, right?
Right. I think to a lot of us, that was a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Nowadays, I mean, it's not really a lot, but if you're not in that space, you're gonna think that's killer, right?
Right.
So then I just had the idea, like I said, after buying a house, I said, you know what? I can also give other people jobs too. So at one point, like I said, I was just 100% in my business. Like I was, you start a business, you're the only person.
Right.
But over the past couple of years, I've been really trying to figure out how to actually build a team. So my 2023 focus was going from 3 employees to 8 employees. All right.
Okay.
And
talk to them.
Basically, like I said, leveraging other people. So at the same time too, I'm giving them a job. A lot of times, realistically, it's like a job they can work from home, and just like what started out as just I'm keeping it real with y'all. Started out with just credit, like because everybody 2020, what I'm saying, the COVID happened,
right?
Credit dropped, everybody's losing their jobs, and it's like at one point it was okay. Let me go do this for the money,
of course,
and then it just turned into a passion, but it turned into a passion when it came to the point of me actually being able to teach them how to actually leverage the credit.
Yeah.
The part of me that I love the most is actually making them money. All right. So
making them money.
Making them money. Yeah.
Break that down.
Turn it into a business. Like for instance, I mean, I'm really big on, like I said, return on investment, return on ad spend. All right. So
turn on time.
Yeah.
Turn on information.
Yeah, exactly. There's a client. She was she's in the credit. I also help other credit repair businesses actually scale their businesses as well.
Nice.
She was just talking about. She was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to do this, but I can't get no clientele." She's like, I tried the ads, but it didn't work. So I said, "Well, how much did you spend on it?" She said, "Yeah, I spent like $100 on it." And I was like, "Did it work?" She said, "Yeah, I only made like $600 off of it."
I only made $600 off. I only made $600 off of it.
So I'm like, you realize you just turned $100 into $600? You know what I'm saying? That's a $500 profit. But her thinking was, okay, but it took too long. It took too long because you're not putting the money. It costs money to make money. You know what I'm saying? So you spending $100 over the course of 2 weeks. Imagine, why don't you spend that in a day? Why don't you spend that, why don't you spend $600 in a day?
And if you had the right systems, that $100 could have been turned faster.
Exactly.
Right? It wouldn't have taken you 2 weeks. It could have maybe took you 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
At that point, you're hitting up the client. You're receiving the information that's going through your process. Maybe her process was lacking at that time, but like you said, you were helping her scale, so you started to understand what her process was.
Yeah, and I remember back. This was, let's say, 2021. I remember I was washing. It was 2020. Yeah, I was washing my truck, right? And this time I had just bought a brand new. It was a 2020 Denali, Denali truck, and I just said to myself, I said, why make slow money if I can make fast money, right? So I said, okay, if I'm spending, I saw what $100 in a week would do, right? I said $100 in a week, that brings me about like $600 or $700. Right, I still do $100 in a day. Then I started going from $300 a day to $500 a day to $1,000 a day. So I realized it's a pattern. If you can turn $1 into $2, then you can turn $1,000 into $2,000. That's just how it is. If you want to increase your return on investment, return on ad spend, you just got to figure out all the loopholes where you're lacking in the system. Whether it's you're not getting enough leads, maybe it's your landing page or something that's not working properly, right? Or if you don't have the right messaging. And it's also too, I know we're kind of getting a little bit off topic right now, but also about lead quality as well too. Like I said, you don't want to attract the the wrong people too.
Facts. You
know?
get the wrong people, that automatically slow down the business, because then now at that point you're just bringing people in for no reason. You're wasting money. Your ads, your cost per lead is now becoming $10, $20, $30, $100 for no reason, when it should be a little bit lower, or it should be at least at a sweet spot that makes sense for your business, right? So if you are paying $20, at least it's a quality $20 lead.
Yeah.
It's not just a $2 lead that's some BS that you got to chase for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
One thing you mentioned earlier, right? During your process, was you mentioned the word mentorship, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said, you needed mentorship, you needed guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So how important today would you say is mentorship has affected you, and mentorship in general for people that's getting into business and getting into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I honestly feel like, and this is what most people don't understand, they're scared to spend some money on a mentorship, right? But mentorship is like that's the best thing to do. Like, why try to figure it out on your own? It's going to take you 5 to 10 years. So I look at it, mentorship is like a GPS. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care if it's going to cost me 20, like say for instance, I don't even like really throwing numbers out there, but anyway. Like,
Throw numbers. If you throw numbers, you can throw numbers.
All right, I'm gonna throw some numbers out there. Okay, so like me, my goal in my business, I don't know if you know what, it's all right. Listen,
Go ahead.
listen. I was trying to get over $60,000. Like I couldn't get past $65,000 a month in my business, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I was stuck at that for like a couple of years. Like I couldn't figure it out. But the problem was I was doing it 100. I mean, I just had, like I said, 3 employees, but I was doing the marketing. I was pretty much playing like most of the hats. Those small stuff. Basically, like the business did not run if I wasn't there, right? So then somebody said to me one day, they was like, listen, they said, would you rather have 100% of $50,000 a month, or would you rather have 10% of $1 million a month? So I said to myself, I said, damn, that right there really hit me hard.
Yeah.
I said, well, obviously, if you think about it,
10%.
If y'all don't do the math, that's
That's
$100,000.
$100,000.
Yeah, I can't do the math.
$100,000.
That's
It's all right.
$100,000.
Carry
Over
the
65.
decimals and all that good stuff.
without doing, but the thing is without me even doing the work. So I said, okay, if you can find, they always say nobody's gonna ever be as good as you are in the business, right?
Right.
So they say you can find somebody that's 80% of you. So, me personally, I started doing some math in my head. I said, okay, cool. If I can find somebody that can do just say, $30,000 a month, in sales, right? If I got 10 of them, 10 people, 10 sales team, 10 people on my sales team, that's $300,000 a month, right? You got to pay your employees, right? Say if I'm paying them $10,000 a month, that's $100,000 of payroll. Right?
He breaking down some numbers. Okay.
Yeah. Plus, then we got advertisement costs. You might spend, because you got to keep up with the demand. From bringing in more clients, you got to spend more on ads, spend more on marketing, right? So let's just say if it's $100,000, like just throw a number out there, you spend $100,000 a month on ads, right? That's still, you still profiting, but you're not doing the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, when it comes back to, like I said, the mentorship, right? I said, okay, what do I have to do to figure out the shortcut? So I paid $20,000 to figure out exactly what the blueprint was to basically build a team, basically like executive hatting, and because if I can go from making $60,000 a month to making $80,000 a month or even $90,000 a month, that $20,000
it's all worth
paid
it
for itself, literally right
Exactly.
within a month or two.
Exactly.
So so that's, like I said, that's what I've been doing. But like I said, mentorships, if it takes you 5 years to figure it out on your own, look how much time you lost. Just GPS is like if I'm driving, I came in this, we in New York, all right, we in New York.
And why? Big and why? Queens in the building. Jersey City, we here.
I say those all the time. If I would have drove down here with no GPS, I might have eventually got here, but I might have got lost. Somebody at the gas station, if I say, hey, how do I get to New York? How do I
what
get to
highway?
Jersey?
Exactly.
They might tell me to go this way, and I might go that way, but I'm driving the wrong way. One, I'm wasting gas, I'm wasting time, and time is money. And
Of course.
exactly.
So, like I said, if you spending, some people go to college, you spending what 100K on student loans and stuff like that, or $50,000 on student loans just to work a 9-to-5 job. You're still working for somebody else. But you can invest into mentorship and run your own business and have other people working for you.
And that's the purpose of mentorship. Number one, to save time and to avoid making mistakes. They're going to give you everything you need to avoid making the same mistakes along that path in order to be successful.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, like the boss said, they just don't get mentorship or they're not ready for it. That's another thing. You have to be ready for it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a whole.
You have to be ready for it.
It's most people look at, they see the outcome, like, oh yeah, he's doing it, so he's killing it. But yo, it takes work. Like, I'm working, I'll be up sometime 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, still working on the business, taking things, adjusting things, you know what I'm saying, just so it can run smoothly. And you just got to shift your mindset. You know, being a business owner is more or less about being able to train your employees to basically work like, you know, it's leadership basically. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I mean, it's kind of fun actually, but it's just different.
Right. And I've mentioned this in a lot of pods that we've done before, you know, me and Brandon. Everybody can't really be an entrepreneur. So being that investor, I think is definitely important, right? So, you know, obviously paying for mentorship, you could pay for mentorship to understand how to invest, right? I think that's something that's important nowadays. A lot of people, they want to invest, but instead of just taking that leap of faith to invest by yourself, you can pay somebody that, you know, can potentially mitigate that risk that they've already done, right? They could have invested money and lost, but now they can tell you how not to do so. So I think mentorship is definitely important for sure. But yo, man, you've been blowing up on Instagram, man.
Trying to.
Hey,
one thing to jump back on that too. I'm really big on this. I got a tattoo. It says no risk, no reward. Most people,
he was not playing.
Put that up.
Put that up for them.
This came from me, from my business right here. It was like I said. Even when it came back to the ads, I said to myself, you know, if I spend $1,000 on a day on ads, what if I don't make no money? And there's days with an entrepreneur, you might not make no money.
Right.
You know, sometimes I would go 2 days, I might spend $2,000 and I lost money. But I know I'm gonna go ahead.
You're gonna get it back.
Exactly. Now, when I first started my business, my credit business, if I knew about the powers of using business credit, I wouldn't have been using my own money. I was using my own money. But then if I was using my business credit, I wouldn't have been scared. I would have been like, you know what, let me go ahead and just run that card up and I'm gonna make that money back. So yeah, I did want to say that. People are scared to invest because they're scared that it's not gonna work. But it's more of a risk. You know, if you sit back and you're scared, you don't do nothing, now you're in the same situation, you're not going to change your life.
Were you always an entrepreneur, or was it more so like you had that 9 to 5 or something like that was helping you?
Yeah, so I kind of I did have that entrepreneurship mindset. I had a couple of like small business. They were like real crazy. One of them was it was like a modeling company. I was like recruiting people,
right,
models and stuff. Another one was, what was it? It's called it was prepaid legal.
Okay.
Basically giving people lawyers. So it was like little small stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I don't know how this is going to work. I was tinting windows. I was doing that back in high school. That was like on the side. So
you've always been an entrepreneur.
Always been a hustler, grinder, entrepreneur, businessman.
Yeah. Always been an entrepreneur for the most part. You know, I started off working at a company, started working at Dish Network, did that for 2 years. Didn't work out. They weren't that little 50-cent raise. I was like, that ain't going to work. You know? So, you know, and then I started working at this company, Comcast. I was there from, 12 years, from when I was 20 years old. Yeah, 20 years old until I retired at 33. I'm 35, turning 36 now. So, but my mindset was, like, I used to think that to make money, you just had to just work 90 hours, you know what I'm saying, at a week.
I used to do that.
Exchange time for money. Yeah, I used to.
Exactly.
We
both
do that for years.
Yeah, we both were blue collar workers, so we know. Like we used to do 70, 80-hour weeks.
Yeah.
And that's hard. But you know, the fact that you said that you were at a job, right? And one thing I like to promote right now, especially in this day and age, is use that job as your investor, right?
Yeah.
Your first investor, because if you don't, and shout out to Storm as well, if you don't, like you may get stuck in that rat race of entrepreneurship, right? Because it's a rat race in 9 to 5, and there's a rat race in entrepreneurship.
You got no foundation to invest.
Yeah, and
what you doing?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's definitely important for a lot of people to know nowadays, right? Everybody just they just want to jump into entrepreneurship, but you really need to get that job sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to start off at that job. I mean, I was speaking to a young kid yesterday. Somebody called me. He was like, "Hey man, I got this kid here. He's coming out of high school. He's a senior, right? He applied to multiple colleges, but he's on the internet. He's seeing all these dudes on the internet. He's reading all these books that all the dudes saying to read. He's like, yo, I don't want to go to college anymore. I'm like, for me personally, right, my personal opinion, you don't have to go to college, but college does teach you some things, right? It teaches the aspect of networking. It teaches you how to communicate with different set of people, right? It also teaches you just, not just the communication aspect with other people, but how you can actually go ahead and work with other people, right? Not just to communicate. So, I was just explaining some of those things to him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I think you're right," because he's like, "I want to make a lot of money." I'm like, I think everybody does. But what are you gonna do to get there, right? You're not just gonna stop, not go to college, and go to a regular McDonald's job or something like that, and expect to keep finding great jobs. At some point, you're gonna need something to be able to find that good job. So those are some of the little things that I was explaining to him. It was a deeper conversation, but how do you feel about people going to college and stuff?
Yeah, well, just before we get to that part right there, that I agree with that 100%. Just because with the like when I think back, like I said, with my job, my previous job, when I was working at Comcast, a lot of the things that I might used to be like, why does this matter? Why do we have to follow these metrics?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's those performance metrics that are actually really important.
Exactly.
And now I'm utilizing that into my own business.
Your own business, because you learned that from the job. You know what I'm saying?
So like if I'm getting, this person is not closing on no jobs, or this person is not keeping up with their work. Now I'm having to be, like I said, the owner of the company. Hey, why you're not doing this? I actually have managers now that actually delegate these specific tasks, make sure they on top of their stuff, and I'm making sure that they're getting. You have to have that. It's like the discipline that's set in your company.
Right.
Nobody wants to be that guy to say, hey, you're not doing this or you got to get fired. But I mean, I let people go because they're not doing what they got to do. But it takes it back to my job. I learned that, and I'm like, now it all makes sense. Yes. Now I know why they cutting overtime. I know why.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. So, like I said, same thing. Like I said, with the college, you gotta have that. You gotta. It's a foundation.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's definitely a foundation. So.
It is, yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Even with working on a job, it teaches you how to be an entrepreneur and how a business is run, especially if you work for a big company like me and you did. Yeah. Especially if we work for the city, work for big companies, it teaches you how organizations are supposed to be run. $1 billion organization.
$1 billion.
Teaches you about budgets. Teaches you how to be a hard worker. What you looking for in a worker. So it teaches you a lot of values about entrepreneurship. You get the handbooks about policies, rules, regulations.
SOPs.
You get SOPs. Mm-hmm. So if you really pay attention, that's why a lot of stuff that's marketed today, right? Everything ain't for everybody.
Yep.
You got to know what's for you. And you got to know how to take the important stuff out of things and apply it to you. So if you go to college, look for the things that you could take out of it to be successful in life. Don't just say, I'm not going to college. There's a lot of things that you could get there to get to your destination. Yep. Don't just go by because you're marketed. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't get a job. Don't go to college. Do what's for you. Yeah. A lot of people's not doing what's for them. They're doing what they're marketed to.
Yeah, I specified to him that he should do finance, right? Because finance, in a sense, runs the world, right? A lot of people that go to college for finance, they start to understand a lot of business acumen as well, right? You can go to college for business, but business, they don't teach you finance, right, as a minor. But in finance, they always teach you business because finance is inside of business. Yeah. So in order for you to understand a lot, just not about regular funding, but, equity, private equity, hedge fund, all those other, higher level topics, right? That's high level conversations. You get to learn that in college and understand those specific metrics that you need in order for you to get there. You get what I'm saying? So that's very important.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, right? Switch gears a little bit.
Oh, he doing the smile. So, I know what that smile means. I know that smile.
We can get mentorship about some things, right? Mm-hmm. About this topic in general, we could get mentorship, we could get therapy, but this is kind of a learn on the job thing, right? Mm-hmm. So you mentioned as far as entrepreneurship, business ownership, you're up late, you got to travel. So you came with your significant other, right? Mm-hmm. How do you manage, or how did you learn how to manage having your partner or your team with you while running these businesses, while working late, while doing things you may not even get paid for? How do you manage that? And how would you tell somebody how to go about managing that?
Listen,
that's my.
I know it's tough.
It's a good thing she's in the scenes. But listen, I be telling her, listen, definitely is a balance, because there be times.
Take your time now. I want her to jump in here.
There be times. Sometimes I might be like, listen, I don't care. I just want to get this done. I want to make this money. I want to grow this business. But then I also got to think to myself, damn, and what if I don't want to lose my girl? I don't want to be just here all alone. So it is a balance. So I make these deals and promises. Hey, listen, let me do this, and I promise once this is all said and done, I'm gonna get the weekend. Like I said, for instance, right now, I said after this, cool. It's all about us. So it definitely is a balance. you know what I'm saying? You do got to have your significant other, you know, on your team. Because if they're not on your team, they don't understand the mindset, they don't understand the hustle, then it's really not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I do say this sometimes too. I say, listen, would you rather have it me at a situation where I'm literally leaving at, like for my last job, there'd be times I'd be leaving at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because I got called out. I used to do on call. So would you rather me being on call? I'm in bed with you, but now it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm leaving. You don't have no idea where I could be going. I could tell you I'm going to a job, but what if I'm not? You know what I'm saying? Versus now I'm here, I'm home every single day for the most part, doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you got to pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? You want it's definitely it's a balance, but you know, yeah.
That's how I feel about entrepreneurship as well. Like it's definitely I feel we work harder, which a lot of people don't understand, than maybe 9-to-5 workers. But I feel it's more control. I could bring my daughter in here. I could bring my wife in here.
Facts.
I could bring her around the business, my family around the business. You know what I'm saying? I could take her with me on the road. I could work at home. So I feel it's just more control over certain things, and you could bring your family a part of the ship. Whether it's a 9-to-5 job, I got to go to work. I got to do the overtime.
Yeah.
It keeps your mind occupied. So you're not thinking about doing all those other extracurricular activities that outside of just going out to the bar, going to clubs, going all the, because your mind is constantly thinking about, hey, how can I make more money and how can I get back more time?
Exactly. There you go.
I wish she could jump on here and say this. Yo, when I'm on my phone, she may think I'm just scrolling. Yo, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yo, that's like I said, that's what I do all day, every single day. Like
a still mind is a weak mind.
Yeah. It's like and another thing too, you know, you gotta get them to understand too, like your significant other, you know, working a 9-to-5, oh, it's a holiday. I get paid holidays off, you know what I'm saying? For an entrepreneur, man, that can be your biggest days.
That's the days you got to go the hardest.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
You got to sell.
You got to sell pussy.
Black Friday,
Christmas.
So it's like
New Year's.
You're trying to prepare the night before so that when you got an automation, because you definitely want to have some automations in your business.
Of course.
So when that thing goes out and it's working, you know what I'm saying? Like it's yeah.
But you just said something real important. It might have went over their heads. Having a system and having your business together, you're setting up automation. So those sales, those calls, so you're making money while you're asleep or doing other things. Your business is running, making money.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say this was like the funniest story I can think of. This is not the funniest story, but I'm saying, so this was actually this last year, this Thanksgiving, right? So I set up my automations and everything. You know, I did some Thanksgiving. I think it was just some digital product, not even nothing crazy, right? It's just like a $27, fast track accelerator course, right? So I set everything up the night before, had the funnel, like everything all set, pre-ready. It's gonna go out at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Happy Thanksgiving. Another one around like 12 o'clock. Pretty much doing like a whole countdown. So I built all this stuff out like prior to it, right? So mind you, when it went out, now we had Thanksgiving at my sister's house. So I'm driving. It's about an hour drive, right? Mind you, it's not a lot, but this is during this time. It was, like I said, within this time frame, I made like $1,500-$1,600 just on the drive up there. But I had you're always gonna have clients that are just random people. Why are you messaging? So this person was like, why are you messaging me on Thanksgiving? Shouldn't you go be with your family? This and that. You ain't got nothing else better to do. And it was just so funny to me. I'm just like, actually, I am with my family. I'm not even doing nothing. I'm making money while I'm sitting back eating some food. You know what I'm saying? And that's the power, like I said, systems,
it's the power of the team. Yeah, systems, teams, automations,
and
operations.
The funny part, that's what you want. That means your market is working.
Yes.
When they message you like that means your marketing is working.
It's working. Because guess what? It caught them.
Yeah.
It hit them. And they've responded. Your marketing is working.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you another thing too. As part of growing, if you're a business owner, your reality is you're going to get haters. If you get haters,
absolutely,
that's when you know you're doing good. So
hey,
now
shout out to my haters.
When I first started off, I didn't know what was going on when I had haters. I was like, what was going on? What am I doing wrong? I realized that's just part of the game. People are not happy where they're at, so they want to try and down somebody else. Like when I first got my vet by C8, right? Everybody was like, people was like, that's not yours. That's rented. That's this, that's that. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I'm making money off of that. You know what I'm saying? But I realized that's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? If you get 100,000 people that see your video, you're going to have at least 5% that's people that are going to hate. So you can't just, worry about the people that saying the negative stuff. You got to know to disregard that stuff.
Focus on who you helping.
Right.
So, yeah.
So let's get back to the spicy stuff. Now, this is the good spicy stuff.
All right.
Let's talk about let's go back to our field, right? How you break down the steps on how you fixing their credit, getting them funded, then getting them to the other streams of income. What is your process and how are you helping these people out?
All right, cool. So basically, now with me, I mean, I know not everybody does the same thing too, but just speaking of like having a business too, you want to make sure that you have a business to where you kind of can stand out as well, right? So you got companies that do just personal credit only. You got businesses that do only business credit. You got people that do funding only. You got people that do mentorships, right? I do a combination of all three, all right? So that way I can actually market. So as opposed to saying, hey, you know, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, such and such, you know, you need to get your credit fixed, right? Come hit me up, right? I'm not going to market like that, right? That's one, it's not going to attract the best clients, but it's only going to attract one set of clients, right?
Yep.
It's just the ones that need to fix their credit, right? I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say, hey, listen, you know, if you're trying to get up to $150,000 in business funding or whatever so that you can grow and scale your business, right? You know, DM me, whatever, you know, text me credit 202-900-2927, right? So what that's going to do, that's going to attract, number one, those who are, one, trying to get a business, all right? Two, those who are trying to get funding at the same time. They want to get some money to grow their business, but they're also going to attract people that don't have good credit. So if they hit me up and they say, listen, I want to get this funding. I want to start this trucking company, right? Okay, cool. What's your credit score? All right, 550. Cool, no problem. I can help you. The first thing we got to do is we got to get your personal credit fixed first. That's going to be the foundation of anything, right?
Foundation.
So once we get them in there, we talk to them and figure out what it is that they need, what their mindset is going to be, right? Now we're going to go ahead and get their personal credit fixed, right?
Yeah.
Once their credit is at the point to where it needs to be at, I mean, same time we can start, building out their business credit, adding trade lines, net 30s, 60s, 90s, tier 1, tier 2, pretty much doing all that stuff. A lot of people even think that the only thing that you have to do is just create the LLC. I mean, that's the easy part.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy right there.
Ink file, LegalZoom, that's the easy part.
You can do it yourself.
Exactly.
Secretary of State.
Yeah. So they think, oh, I got an LLC, I'm good. No.
You don't know what you don't know, though. You got to see where they at.
That's why you got to get that mentorship. Make them mistakes and you put yourself in a high-risk business or don't have that address structure, and now you trying to get some funding and they tell you decline.
Talk to them. Tell them.
So
let them know.
But had you hired a mentor, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You would not have made that mistake. Now you're over here trying to go back, correct your mistakes, and But anyway, so once they get the personal credit fixed, we definitely want to make sure that we actually build up a good strong credit profile. If you don't have no trade lines are like Capital One, personal credit cards, car loans and stuff like that.
Right.
You can even do things like rent reporters. You can backdate that 2 years. So you want to have a good, strong credit profile. Credit profile is going to be more important than your actual credit score.
Of course.
Okay.
So just to touch back on that again, I know we talked about it in the beginning. Most people focus on just the credit score, right? They just think I got a 780 or a 760 credit score. I can go out there and get whatever I want. I take it from, like I said, from personal experience. Like I said, I was denied it when I was 20 years old with a 738 credit score because I didn't have no credit profile, right? It's about the credit strength, the credit history. So once you get the credit history and everything is all good and set and strong, now we can go ahead and start building up the business credit. All right, just the address. It can be your home address. All right, it can be people go to our postal and they just get the $9.90 package and then they come and find out
the anytime mailbox.
We tell y'all about the our postals.
Yeah,
we tell y'all about those.
Ben.
You got to make sure, like I said, it's a brick and mortar. So people do that. Like I talked to a lot of people. Yeah. These banks, they're going to look it up. They're going to see how your business is. Because think about it. Imagine if you trying to work with a company, right? And you ask them, hey, where you at? They look you up and you say, oh, it's out of a house. Are you really going to feel comfortable giving this business, $200,000 versus you see a business where it's got 50 employees and it's in a tall skyscraper? You know what I'm saying? You might give them $1 million or a couple $1 million. Right. It's the same way. So you got to make yourself look credible. So
gotta have that suit and tie. We always say it. That suit and tie. That suit and tie is your formation, right? Your LLC, the setup, your business address, your phone number, your email, your website, your NACE code. That's your suit and tie right there. The blazer and skirt for the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, and the NACE code. Yep. I don't know if it's NACE or NACE. Which one is it?
I don't know.
That's how you pronounce it.
NACE.
You from a little further south. You may say NACE. We say NACE.
I got another one. Let's take back. is it inquiries or inquiries?
Oh, see, we're not gonna do it.
Tomato. Tomato, tomato.
Yo, I don't know what it is, but guess what? I call it inquiries. You know,
Yeah, inquiries. I call it inquiries as well.
I don't know what it is, but guess what? It's like you said, tomato.
It's the same thing. I got too much of them.
And I don't know. So yeah, all that stuff is important, like you just said. I mean, even the Gmail, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a professional email. Pay that extra money, you know, that $26 or whatever it is to get that professional Gmail. Because if it's just Jaron@gmail.com, they're gonna look at that and say, oh, he just got the free email. It's the small things, like I said, like that they're gonna look at.
Gotta look like a business.
And that little, just trying to be cheap by not paying this $26 could cost you over $50,000, $100,000 in funding or not getting it at all. All right. So yeah, once you get the business and everything structured properly, now it's just time to go ahead and and go get the bag. Definitely want to make sure that your revenue is in order, because like I said, most people know about this, Truist, Navy Federal, Chase, Wells Fargo, KeyBank, but that's the credit card stacking, but there's also alternative lenders that are out there as well, right? Alternative lenders that they can give you the MCAs, the lines of credit. You want to make sure, like with those companies, it's either going to be one of the three. It's going to either be cash flow, collateral, or credit.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk about
triple C's.
The triple C's. So say for instance, if your credit score is not the best, right? I'm still gonna tell everybody you want to have a 680 plus, no negatives. You know what I'm saying? Don't hear this and say, oh, I can have bad credit. It's still not gonna give you the ideal loan. But anyway, if you don't have the best credit, at least have something else to make up for it. Either have some good revenue, because I got clients that their credit is like not the best, right? Like they may have like a 580 credit score.
They got the good revenue.
Yeah, they have good revenue. Like one lady, she's a bail bonds, right? She's bringing in like 40, 50K a month. And she also had like over $100,000 in her account. So they was able to approve her with even just with a 5-something credit score and even negative accounts. But somebody else that come in there, but they only have, they have a 700 credit score, but they only making $5,000 a month. You don't have the revenue, right?
Got you.
So it's all about that too. And again, going back to the NAICS code or NAICS code, whatever you want to call it, right? Trucking, it's high risk. Real estate, credit repair,
risk. It's
high risk business.
Yeah.
So it's all about knowing how to set your business up. You know what I'm saying? And just go in there, go ahead and get the funding. So you do it in the right sequence.
Are you getting the funding for them, or are you teaching them how to get the bag?
So I'm doing. I provide all the services.
Oh, so, I do both.
One stop shop.
I'm a one stop shop.
What they say, both on them.
Yeah. So I give them the option. Like if they come to me, if they want to get the credit repair, I give you some free stuff too, right? I give you the DIY, do it yourself. I give you AI. So I got an AI software.
Oh, you said free?
Well, no, it's not free.
Oh, I think so.
I do. I
have free. Some free stuff.
No, I do have free. I got free master classes and stuff. Free.
Okay, that's good.
Free,
it's good breaking it down.
Just to kind of like get people going. Get them, who I am and stuff like that. Get them, get an idea. Oh, okay. Because sometimes they see your stuff, they don't have no idea
who you are.
What is credit? They might even know what credit is. What's credit?
And they don't even understand that business concept. Giving out value for free. Like
law reciprocity.
Break that down real quick.
I ain't gonna lie. They be upset.
Free value out. What has that done for you?
So listen, I'm gonna tell you that. So for me and my business, that was a game changer right there too. Because when I first started, I was running nothing but paid ad. I didn't even know, honestly, I didn't know what organic was. I just knew it was just paid traffic. So I did a little test last year. I did a test actually end of September 2022. Yeah, September 2022. I said I'm gonna just stop running paid ads. I just ran nothing but organic traffic. Organic is more or less you're giving out basically free game. All right, you're giving out free game, and I was just giving out nothing but this information.
Of course.
Telling people how you can do this, how you can do that, how you can, get $150,000, these specific banks and stuff. And that right there was getting a lot of attention, right? So people, they're going to start building, you're going to start building up your trust that way, all right? So you build up that trust, and just that right there. But what you want to do with that is you want to combine that. So the process that I have, I know we're getting off topic, but the process with that is combine your organic marketing with your free stuff, and then you can use your paid traffic. So you bring people in with your paid traffic. So you bring people in, and then let people watch your organic stuff so they kind of know who you are, right? So, but yes, 5 times, like I said, I ain't gonna lie, at one point, I was scared to give away some free game. I was scared because I was like, damn, if I tell them how to do it, they're not gonna need me. But the reality is,
I think everybody was in the beginning, right? And at that point, do they still need you?
Yeah.
And this social media era is kind of new to a lot of us, right? In 2020, we really, 2020, 2019, that's when people started getting on the internet, giving out the information. And whether people are gonna buy from them or not, afraid that their business might fail because I'm giving you all the info. Do you need me or not? But there's a lot of people that have been actually able to capitalize on that. Same as you, same as us, and a lot of people that are on the internet making money and actually giving out information that's solid.
And that's the mistake people make. That YouTube University, right? Mm-hmm. So you could probably make 5,000. You could probably make 10,000, maybe even 25, 50,000, right? But it's levels.
Yes.
The steps to making 50,000 is different to making 150. The steps to making $1 million is different than making 150.
Yep.
So that's when you got to tap into mentorship. Like, yeah, you can go on YouTube, go on Google, and make some money doing stuff that's free.
Right.
But that was levels. Like you said, it took you a while to get to 100,000. You had to now invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So people got to understand that as levels to business and as levels to be successful, at a certain point, you have to invest in yourself. Free is not going to get you to where you want to be. It's going to start. You can start off, yes, absolutely, but it's not going to get you to the next tiers and next levels. So I got a question, man. This is the Millionaire Essentials podcast. Mm-hmm. So it's a 2-part question, right?
All right.
Thus far, as an entrepreneur, how much would you say you've made in your business, and what is your goals?
Probably, it ain't nothing crazy, but I would just say probably about 1.5, I would say. Maybe.
He said that ain't nothing crazy.
He said that ain't nothing crazy. It ain't nothing crazy because the thing about it is like me with my mindset, I'm around people that are making $1 million in a month. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So just like even when I'm like talking to some of my clients, and I tell them just like that I paid $20K and just in one person, they're like, "What? That's crazy." I'm like, "No, you got to understand. It's about like the value that you get out of it. Like for instance, if I charge you $5,000 just for some information that's going to be able to make you, even if it just makes you $5,000 additional dollars a month, it's going to pay for itself back.
Right.
So I'm around people like that. So I'd be scared to say, "Oh, I'm making this amount of money," because it's like, people around me. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you something too. This is kind of a little funny, right?
Go ahead.
So on Black Friday this year, I was gonna post what I made in that specific day.
Right.
But then I seen somebody else that's real big in the space, and
Made
she
you look
posted
small.
what she made, and she posted it was like $82,000. I was like, dang,
Can't post that no
I'm
more.
not posting my numbers, like I ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
No matter where you're at, if you're making $1 million, you got to be around people that's making 100 million, because that's going to get you to that next level. So now, what is your goals as far as revenue and business wise?
Hey, I just realized too, that number, I think that's that's probably like in a year probably like the course of 2 years. But it's about that's like profit. It's a lot of money that I made, but it's about profit. There's a lot of business expenses as well too.
Okay.
I know, like I said, my first year I made a lot of money was 2021. I think I made like $650,000, but
Had to learn taxes.
the profit was only like maybe 300 something thousand, but the taxes when I go file my taxes, that was like, yeah, you owe $300K. I was like, what? But yeah, now my goal, honestly, like I said, is to be able to make that consistent. Like I said, $1 million in a year. That's just my short term goal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I want, because it's like March, April, that's tax season. You know what I'm saying? Those are the easiest months to really make money. You know what I'm saying? So it's just being consistent. Want to be able to make consistent $100,000 months. So that's my plan. That's my goal, and be able to have it to where I'm be able to buy back a little bit more of my time too. Because actually, what I did too, I did something that's actually a little bit different than what most people do. Most people they hire employees so that they don't have to really be in the business. But I didn't want to be 100% out of the business, so I did this new strategy. And this new strategy, basically, I have my team. I said I have VAs, I have hourly employees, but I have it set up to where they are doing all the stuff on the back end of scenes and stuff. They're doing the process. Like I'm not doing it. I haven't touched credit in I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years. I haven't touched it. Right. Yeah. Sometimes when I go into the system, I'll be like, damn, how do we work this system? How do we? I don't even know. So I got to call my assistant and be like, hey, how do I send this audit? Because they might be off. Like,
right.
But
sometimes you got to step in.
But it got to a point to where people like reach out to me. I have no idea who they were. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna set this up to where I can still be able to contact my clients if I want to. So I'm still want to be the face of the business. So I'm actually talking to them, contacting them. One, that's making them feel like, oh wow, the owner of the company is reaching out, and then from there, gonna kind of like hand them off. So I had to put together a team to be able to do that. And like I said, that strategy is crazy.
Hey, shout out to our coordinators and our admins. Appreciate y'all for sure.
So yeah, making $1 million a month. That's a pretty big goal. What would you say you would have to change currently in your business, if anything, to get there? Or is it just about putting your head down and keep moving forward?
I mean, honestly, I would say every business is different. I mean, if you got a business where it's, like I said, everything is automated, and you have the systems automated, the system, like I said, emails can be sent out at a high rate, but you just got to be able to spend more. So if you invest more into advertisements and stuff like that, it's going to get seen by more people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people around me, they spending $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. But you gotta have the people in place, the teams, the processes, and stuff like that. Because trying to do it by yourself, that's where, like I said, like we was talking about earlier, that's where most people make the mistake. They want to be stingy. They're trying to keep the whole bag, but you can't do everything by yourself. It's like, think about, like I said, these big businesses. Like, let's just use McDonald's for example, right? McDonald's, you don't even have to put it up on your GPS. You just know, all I gotta do is just drive maybe 1 mile this way, 2 miles this way, you're gonna find a McDonald's, right? And just like I said, with Burger King, not Burger King, let's just say Five Guys. I think Five Guys tastes better, right? They don't make nowhere near as much as McDonald's makes because they don't have as many locations. So you got to be able to invest in having the locations.
And they don't market. They don't market as much.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't market. So that's really big. You know what I'm saying? Let's just take it back to the Super Bowl. What the commercials cost? A couple million?
Like $7 billion, right? $7 billion.
$7 million. $7 million for a 30-second commercial. It might sound crazy to a lot of people, but you spending $7 million for a 30-second commercial, that might make you,
well,
20 million.
In Kanye's eyes, it made him 20 million.
That's what I'm saying. and that's just, like I said, it's about how many eyeballs, how many people you bring. So even if you got say you got a clothing store, you know what I'm saying? If you got a clothing store and you got the best clothes, like it can be the best gear, it can be top notch, you know what I'm saying? Soft silk, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if nobody knows about it and you don't get no traffic into it, you're not going to make no money. So you got to find ways. Like even you do like the law of reciprocation. I mean, you can even do something as simple as say, hey, grand opening, everybody that comes in here, you get free ice cream or something like that, right? Anything. So offer something free. The idea is to get people inside of your business, inside of your store. If you get 100 people inside your business, we talk about numbers. Let's say if 10% buy, now you got 10 sales. If you get 1,000 people into your store, you got 100 sales. That's the reality of how it is. So you got to spend that money, but just be able to handle the workload.
Let's talk about that, right? The $7 million, 30-second commercial. Like, if you had a chance, right? If you had a chance to do a 30-second commercial, $7 million, what would you do?
Well, that's a good one. I got to make it count. I got to figure out, first of all, I'm going to figure out what's going to bring me in the most revenue. So it's going to probably be more or less I would probably be more or less talking about investing into mentorship to kind of get to the point to where I'm at. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because what I have learned also about business, you got low ticket sales, you got mid ticket and a high ticket. You make more money off a high ticket. It might cost more money to actually get to that person, but if I'm let's just say 1,000, let's say, what we say, how many people see it? 200
something million people.
So 200 million people are seeing my stuff. I'm definitely going to show something that's probably at least, a $5,000 course, something, along those terms. But I'm gonna definitely make it count because, you don't want to market the wrong stuff. Like, I'm not gonna spend that much money just to say, hey, check out my free course. Right. It's not gonna make sense. It's gotta, I don't know. I can't even answer that right now.
You gonna get there though. You gonna get there.
You gonna get there. Don't worry.
There's a guy. He's really big on running events. It's similar. It's similar to basically he runs like kind of like commercial like how Super Bowl like TV ads are.
Yeah.
It don't necessarily have a call to action. It's more or less putting it in front of you. Like, it don't have no link in bio. It don't have a learn more. It takes you to a landing page. It just shows you the information. But it's a cheaper way of marketing, but you can reach more people. So although they might not like convert right then and there, but now you're giving them a second eyeball. Like I said, it's retargeting them, right?
Keeping them inside the funnel, keeping it in the system.
Yeah. So like my method right now is, like I said, I get them. I get people to see my business. I bring them to my Instagram page. That's where I post all my content, and then I hit them with a retargeting ad. Which the retargeting ad just, I can, like, basically for pennies on a dollar, you know what I'm saying, get that out to 100,000, 200,000 people. They see it, maybe do another one so they can see it again. Then I hit them with a call to action. Hey, now you ready? If you ready to make some change today, go ahead and book this call. So it's just, you got to do it the right way. Like, you don't want some people going there and the first thing they want to do is sell.
Right.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Jaron. Buy my course.
Right.
They don't know who you are. You got to build up that trust.
You got to nurture them.
It's a strategy. Collected that data.
Matter of fact, we was talking about relationships earlier. I mean, think about it like this: you meet a girl. Me as a guy, if I meet a girl just walking down the street, I can't see her and just be like, "Hey, can we go back to your house? She gonna be like, what the heck? What you
I mean, it's 2024. Maybe you can. I don't know. I haven't been dating years. I don't know. Can you?
Some areas, some places maybe, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you start, you know, you talk to her nice, say a couple different things. Hey, you know, that's nice. Hey, what you doing? What you doing weekends? What you do for a holiday? You know.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Nurture.
Act interested. Hey, you know, you might even, what's your IG? You might not want to get the number right now because she might take you know, but at least if you get the IG, now you can kind of you know, see what she got going on. She can see what you got going on, and she can, you know, get that interest that comes to, you know, basically, you know, that comes to you.
Exactly.
And, you know, when the time is right, now you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and shoot my shot now.
Right.
You said you hungry. Oh, okay. Well, come on. Hey, you know what? I'm actually in the area real quick. Let's go to this steakhouse or go to Chris or whatever. You know, now you go ahead and now you got this person. Same thing, you know, if you're nurturing somebody, you know, your clients with credit or business or whatever the case may be, they seeing your stuff when the right time hits. And now you go ahead and take some action so you're not feeling like you're selling this person. They coming to you out of genuine, like, you know, they really want this help. Yep. So that it's like I said, it's real important. Just like I said, in relationships, you know, you can't be too quick because you're going to get shut down.
Jaron, you came up here dropping a lot of gems. Y'all going to have to play a lot of this. Dropping a lot of gems, a lot of flavor. We appreciate you. Before you get out of here, let them know what you got coming up and where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on all the platforms. On IG, it's going to be at J_the CEO. YouTube, same thing, J_the CEO. Facebook, I don't really use it a lot, but it's going to be under 6-figure funding. TikTok, J_the CEO. But if you're just seeing this and you got your phone in your hand, you can actually text the word credit to 202-900-2927. And if you see any of my posts on IG, just comment the word credit, and we're going to send you some information, and we'll pretty much go from there, whether you need the personal credit, the business credit, or you need some funding for your business, or if you want to learn how to make money in your sleep with digital products, I do it all. So, you know, no matter what level you're at, we can get you with the courses, we can do done with you, or we can do done for you. And, yeah, let's just make it some change, all right? Don't be scared to invest in yourself. No risk, no reward. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. That's it.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, we're going to close out. Hey, man, you know it's Tevin Facey, the funding poppy. I got my partner,
Brandon, the provider. This is the Millionaire Essentials Podcast. Appreciate you guys for coming, stopping by with us. See you soon.
Peace.